Picture this for a moment. You receive a TikTok notification. It's MrBeast, the man who has donated over $100 million, offering iPhone 15s for just $2. The voice is his, the face is his, even that characteristic smile is there. You click without hesitation because, after all, it's Jimmy Donaldson, the guy who built his entire career giving money to ordinary people like you. But here's the terrifying truth I discovered while investigating this case. That wasn't MrBeast. It was artificial intelligence so sophisticated it fooled millions of people around the world. And while you're watching this video, criminals are at this very moment creating new deepfakes of Jimmy to steal money from innocent fans. This isn't a story about technology. It's about how the trust we build in someone can be transformed into the perfect weapon against ourselves. MrBeast has become a victim of his own success, and his fans are paying the highest price possible. The question that has haunted me since I began this investigation is simple. If we can no longer trust even the face and voice of someone we've watched for years, how do we protect ourselves in a world where reality itself can be manufactured? Today, I'm going to show you exactly how these scammers are stealing millions using Jimmy's face, and more importantly, how you can avoid becoming their next victim. The sophistication of these deepfake scams is absolutely mind-blowing. I've analyzed dozens of these fake MrBeast videos, and I need you to understand something crucial. These aren't amateur productions. We're talking about Hollywood-level digital manipulation that would fool even Jimmy's closest friends. Let me break down exactly how they do it. The scammers start with hundreds of hours of real MrBeast footage from his YouTube channel. They feed this into advanced AI systems that learn every micro-expression, every vocal inflection, every hand gesture that makes Jimmy unique. The result is a digital puppet that can say anything the criminals want while looking and sounding exactly like the real MrBeast. But here's where it gets truly diabolical. They don't just copy his appearance. They study his psychological pattern. Every successful MrBeast video follows a formula. The excitement in his voice when announcing prizes, the way he creates urgency with countdown timers, those progress bars showing money being deposited. The scammers reverse engineer this entire emotional blueprint. The tactics are incredibly diverse. One viral TikTok shows fake MrBeast in his signature warehouse, announcing iPhone giveaways with that same infectious energy we've come to love. But another, a paid ad on Instagram, promotes a completely fake gambling app called Beast Plinko, using a deepfake of Jimmy to promise impossible winnings. Others mimic live news reports, using digitally created versions of real journalists like Laura Coates and Sean Hannity to add a false layer of legitimacy. They aren't just using one script, they are testing and deploying a whole portfolio of deception. The most chilling part? These videos are so convincing that cybersecurity experts at McAfee reported a 3,000% increase in deepfake fraud in 2024 alone. We're not just dealing with a few isolated incidents. This is an epidemic. To understand why these scams work so devastatingly well, we need to dive into the psychology of trust that Jimmy Donaldson has spent years building. MrBeast isn't just a content creator. He's become a symbol of generosity in the digital age. He's given away millions through Team Trees, Team Seas, and most recently, Team Water, which raised over $30 million for clean water initiatives. This reputation for genuine philanthropy creates what psychologists call authority bias, when we automatically trust someone because of their established credibility. When fans see MrBeast's face announcing a giveaway, their critical thinking shuts down because their brain says, "This is the guy who actually gives away money." The scammers exploit this trust with surgical precision. They reference Jimmy's real charitable work to build credibility. After MrBeast announced Team Water in early 2025, criminals immediately began impersonating his charity team. They would approach potential victims claiming to be part of Jimmy's philanthropic efforts, using his genuine good works as a shield for their criminal activities. But they don't stop at authority bias. These scams are master classes in psychological manipulation. They create artificial scarcity with phrases like, "only available to the first 1,000 people." They manufacture social proof by showing fake testimonials from supposed winners. They exploit loss aversion by making victims feel like they're missing out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The most insidious element is how they weaponize reciprocity. Because MrBeast has given so much to the world, victims feel like they deserve something back. The scammers make them feel chosen, special, like Jimmy personally selected them for this exclusive opportunity. It's not greed that drives people to fall for these scams. It's the belief that good things happen to good people, and that MrBeast rewards loyalty. What I discovered next will shock you. These aren't random internet trolls operating from their basements. We're dealing with sophisticated criminal organizations that have turned MrBeast deepfake scams into a multi-million-dollar enterprise. The operation works like a well-oiled machine. First, there are the technical specialists who create the deepfakes using advanced AI software. These aren't simple face swap apps. We're talking about professional-grade technology that costs tens of thousands of dollars. The criminals invest heavily in making their fakes indistinguishable from reality, and these social engineers have been escalating their methods systematically. This isn't a random series of attacks. It's an evolving campaign. In 2023, it started simply. Deepfake ads on TikTok offering iPhones for $2. By May 2024, they had diversified, running paid ads on Instagram for a completely fabricated gambling app called Beast Plinko. Just a few months later, in the summer of 2024, they were flooding social media with sophisticated Bitcoin giveaway scams. Each wave was a test, refining their technology and psychological tactics, leading to the multi-million-dollar heists of today. The distribution network is equally sophisticated. These criminals don't just post random videos and hope for the best. They purchase advertising space on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, making their scam videos appear as legitimate sponsored content. They create fake news websites with professional layouts, complete with fabricated quotes from celebrities endorsing the giveaways. The money laundering operation is the final piece of this criminal puzzle. When victims send money, it doesn't go to obvious scam accounts. Instead, it flows through a complex network of cryptocurrency exchanges, offshore accounts, and shell companies, making it virtually impossible to trace or recover. The numbers behind these scams are staggering, but the human stories are what truly reveal the devastating impact of this criminal enterprise. Let me tell you about Erik Bergman, a successful Swedish tech entrepreneur who lost $1.25 million to MrBeast impersonators in 2025. Bergman wasn't some naive internet user. He was a sophisticated businessman who had already donated $1 million to the legitimate Team Water campaign. But when scammers created a fake WhatsApp group impersonating MrBeast, Mark Rober, and other celebrities, even his experience couldn't protect him. The criminals were masterful in their approach. They didn't immediately ask for money. Instead, they spent weeks building relationship, discussing the water crisis, sharing what appeared to be insider information about upcoming projects. When they finally pitched their fake cryptocurrency investment opportunity, Bergman felt like he was joining an exclusive circle of philanthropists. He wired $500,000 first, then another $750,000 when the scammers claimed the investment was performing exceptionally well. By the time he realized he'd been deceived, the money was gone, and the impersonators had vanished into the digital void. But Bergman's story represents just the tip of the iceberg. For every high-profile victim who comes forward, there are thousands of ordinary people losing smaller amounts. College students spending their tuition money, elderly fans using their retirement savings, parents dipping into their children's college funds. These victims often suffer in silence, trapped by an intense feeling of shame. As Erik Bergman himself admitted, after losing over $1 million, his first reaction was that he felt ashamed and foolish. This is the criminal's secondary weapon. They know that shame thrives in silence. It prevents people from reporting the crime, allowing the syndicate to continue operating from the shadows. The psychological trauma, therefore, isn't just a byproduct of the financial loss. It is a core component of the criminal strategy. Many victims describe feeling betrayed not just by the scammers, but by MrBeast himself, even though Jimmy had nothing to do with the fraud. The trust they built over years of watching his content gets shattered in an instant. As I conclude this investigation, I'm left with a sobering realization. We've entered an era where seeing is no longer believing. The technology that creates these deepfakes is advancing faster than our ability to detect them, and the criminals are always one step ahead of the platforms trying to stop them. The problem grew so severe that by late 2024, Jimmy himself took to social media, warning his followers directly. He posted, quote, "Lots of people are getting this deepfake scam ad of me. Are social media platforms ready to handle the rise of AI deepfake?" His question was prophetic. Just months later, the Team Water scam hit, forcing him to go from content creator to victim advocate, offering that $100,000 bounty. His own words reveal a man watching his identity being stolen in real time, powerless against platforms that seem unprepared for this new reality. But this isn't a story without hope. The first line of defense is awareness, and that's exactly what we're building here today. Now that you understand how these scams operate, you're already significantly less vulnerable. Remember, legitimate MrBeast giveaways always direct participants to his official channels. Anything asking for upfront payments, cryptocurrency deposits, or personal financial information is automatically suspicious. The broader implications of this story extend far beyond MrBeast scams. We're witnessing the weaponization of trust itself. In a world where anyone's likeness can be stolen and manipulated, we must fundamentally change how we verify information. The old rule of trust but verify is no longer sufficient. We must verify first, then trust. Technology companies are scrambling to develop deepfake detection tools, but it's becoming an arms race between creators and detectors. Legislation is slowly catching up, with several countries proposing laws specifically targeting deepfake fraud. But enforcement remains challenging in the borderless world of the internet. The most powerful weapon we have against these criminals is community awareness. Share this information with your friends and family, especially those who might be more vulnerable to these sophisticated psychological manipulations. The scammers rely on isolation and shame to keep their victims silent. By bringing these tactics into the light, we rob them of their power. MrBeast built his empire on the simple idea that good people deserve good things. The criminals trying to exploit that goodness represent everything wrong with our digital age. But by staying informed, staying skeptical, and staying connected to our communities, we can ensure that trust and generosity continue to thrive, even in an age of digital deception. Remember, in the battle between human decency and criminal exploitation, awareness is our strongest weapon. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and never let the criminals steal what makes the internet a place where genuine good can flourish. Subscribe to Dark Suits for more investigations into the hidden world of corporate crime and digital deception.